There are luxury cars, and then there are cars that feel like they were built for kings. Two names rule this world, with an iron glove wrapped in the softest leather. Imagine Rolls Royce and Bentley. These aren't cars you buy. They are legacies you step into. Moving monuments of craftsmanship and power whose engines don't growl, they glide like whispered thunder, while other brands chase speed, attention, and futuristic trends. Rolls Royce and Bentley remain untouched by competition. They are not fighting to dominate the luxury market, they define it. And tonight, on Velvet, you're about to enter the universe where these giants reign supreme, and understand why no American brand has ever come close to dethroning them. Imagine a vehicle where silence isn't a lack of sound, but a form of wealth. A car so refined that rain on the windows becomes the loudest noise inside. This is the philosophy behind Rolls Royce. They don't build cars, they craft them like fine art. Each Rolls is hand-assembled, shaped by artisans whose skills have been passed down through generations. The stitching of the seats, the polishing of the wood, the painting of the exterior, nothing is rushed. Nothing is automated unnecessarily. Every Rolls Royce is a masterpiece of patience. And in a world obsessed with speed, patience is the rarest luxury of all. Bentley, meanwhile, sits on the other side of the same throne. Where Rolls Royce is calm, Bentley is controlled power. Its engines carry the weight of British racing heritage, a legacy that pulses beneath the leather surfaces and handcrafted details. A Bentley doesn't glide like a cloud. It storms forward like a refined beast, powerful yet elegant, fierce yet dignified. The rich choose Bentley not simply to be chauffeured, but to drive, to feel the heartbeat of the machine beneath their fingertips. Bentley is speed wrapped in sophistication, a sprint dressed in a tuxedo. But the true reason Rolls Royce and Bentley dominate the global luxury market isn't just engineering, it's worldview. They treat luxury not as something to show, but something to live. American luxury often revolves around status: big grills, loud engines, oversized proportions, shouting, "Look at me." But Rolls Royce and Bentley embrace a quieter philosophy. They don't care if the world sees luxury. They care if you feel it. This difference is everything. Inside a Rolls Royce, the world disappears. The suspension absorbs the imperfections of the road as if the ground itself moves out of respect. The leather is not simply leather, it comes from cows raised without barbed wire, so their hides remain flawless. The wood isn't just wood, it's from trees selected by specialists, who inspect every grain, pattern like museum curators. Even the carpeting is thicker than the mats inside a private jet. Every detail exists to remind the owner that comfort is not a feature, it's an identity. Bentley offers a similar devotion, but with a soul forged in adrenaline. The brand believes a luxury car should not only protect you from the world, but electrify you. That's why every Bentley interior feels like a command center for the elite. Knurled metal knobs, rich walnut veneers, handcrafted diamond quilting, everything feels alive. And when the engine roars, it doesn't sound angry. It sounds noble, collected, as if the car itself knows it comes from a bloodline of champions. American brands have tried to enter this space before: Cadillac, Lincoln, even electric newcomers with futuristic designs have attempted to step onto this battlefield. But luxury is not something you can launch. It is something you build over centuries, layer by layer, tradition by tradition. Rolls Royce has roots stretching back to 1904. Bentley began its journey in 1919. These aren't brands, they're dynasties. Their customers aren't just consumers, they're heirs. One of the biggest reasons these brands dominate is the type of wealth they attract. Rolls Royce and Bentley owners are not trying to prove they're rich. They already are deeply, generationally, unshakably. Their wealth doesn't need to scream, but their cars must speak to who they are: individuals who collect art, not trends. People who prefer discretion over spectacle. People who don't buy luxury, they embody it. A Rolls Royce owner often sees the car as an extension of their lifestyle. The quietness of the cabin mirrors the quietness of their influence. The smooth journey reflects the stability of their legacy. There's a reason Rolls Royce buyers include royals, world leaders, and titans of global industry, people who shape history from behind closed doors. A Bentley owner, on the other hand, is often someone who built their wealth through mastery. Entrepreneurs, innovators, athletes, artists with relentless ambition. They want a car that reflects their drive, something powerful enough to command respect, but sophisticated enough to hold it. But perhaps the deepest reason both brands dominate is this: they offer something the world is forgetting: soul. Not the kind of programmed personality found in modern cars, but real soul, created by human hands. In a time where automation is replacing craftsmanship and speed is replacing elegance, Rolls Royce and Bentley stand as the last guardians of true luxury. They are reminders that the greatest things on earth are not mass-produced, they're made slowly, intentionally, with devotion. Look closely at their buyers, and you'll notice something else. Rolls Royce and Bentley owners rarely change loyalty. Once someone enters this world, they stay. Because after experiencing this level of refinement, everything else feels ordinary. They don't want luxury features, they want the feeling of stepping into something timeless. They want to close the door and hear that perfect silence. They want the smell of handcrafted leather that took months to perfect. They want the sensation that the car is not transporting them, but protecting them from the noise and chaos of the world. Rolls-Royce calls their cars magic carpets. Bentley calls theirs grand tourers. But in truth, they are thrones on wheels, moving sanctuaries for the elite, crafted for people who don't chase luxury, but define it. And as long as true wealth exists, these two names will sit at the top of the luxury market, untouchable, unchallenged, unbothered. If you want more cinematic deep dives into the world of luxury, elegance, and generational wealth, make sure you subscribe to Velvet. This channel is your doorway into a world most people never get to see. And trust me, the journey is only just beginning.